One man is dead after being shot in the Park Hill neighborhood. It happened around 8:20 tonight. It's our top story on the night team. I'm Connie Leonard. It happened as neighbors told us they were starting to feel safer with a bigger police presence in the area and less crime. The night team's Alexander Goldberg and photojournalist Aspen Hester talked to a local pastor who's still hopeful for progress.
So yeah, there's been more in the area, and then when I got here today, there were two sitting right there.
Joshua Tapp is talking about police cars. We spoke with the pastor at True Words Baptist Church on Friday evening. He agreed with Louisville Metro Police that increased patrols in the Park Hill neighborhood was leading to a decrease in crime. But around 8:20 p.m. on Friday, LMPD says one man was shot and killed in the area of 26th and Dumanil Street. There has been 123 deadly shootings this year. And last week, LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey said the department's new crime reduction plan is working. He said an example of success, more police in Park Hill. LMPD says in October, there were 24 reports of crime. Police say because of more officers in the area, the number of incidents in Park Hill dropped to 12 total in November.
As you impact crime today, it'll impact crime down the road, right? Because you've reduced the number of victims, you've reduced the number of offended people who might go out there and commit retaliatory crimes, and you start to change the culture and the appearance of neighborhoods, which is going to reduce that crime.
Yeah, so they're usually sitting right in here, back by that building, and sometimes there's one, two, sometimes there's like five.
Despite what happened late Friday night, Tapp says he's noticed the uptick in LMPD cruisers lately.
And people that we talk to out in the community, when they ask where the church is located, they know that the police are in this area.
LMPD's homicide unit is investigating the shooting in the Park Hill neighborhood. Alexander Goldberg, WHAS11 Night Team, on your side.
And anyone with information about tonight's shooting is encouraged to call the anonymous tip line. That number on your screen, 574-LMPD. You can also utilize the online portal. Well, Kentucky State Police say a traffic stop in Shelby County led to the arrest of a man wanted for murder and a bank burglary. In arrest documents, investigators say early this morning, Roosevelt Davis of Wisconsin forced his way into a home in Springfield, Kentucky, and shot two people. One of them, Kadisha Birch, died at the home. Another person was taken to the hospital. The citation says one of the two victims was Davis's common-law wife. Shelbyville police officers later arrested Davis in Simpsonville during a traffic stop. Investigators say Davis admitted to burglarizing a bank in Milwaukee, then using the money to buy guns and camouflage. Davis reportedly told detectives he drove to Kentucky to kill the two people. He's charged with murder, attempted murder, and burglary. And a Louisville man is facing several charges accused of shooting and killing his own brother. Officers arrested Victor Brown yesterday and charged him with killing Kavon Brown on April 24th. Now, police say Kavon Brown was found shot inside a car that crashed at 10th and Broadway. Now, Victor Brown was in the passenger seat. Investigators say surveillance video showed the car traveling normally before suddenly veering off and hitting two other cars. In court today, Victor Brown pleaded not guilty to multiple charges, including murder and wanton endangerment. His bond was set at $1 million. He's due back in court January 6th. Well, another rainy day in Kentuckiana, and if you're planning to travel or hit the road tomorrow, you may have to dodge a few more rain showers. Meteorologist Sam Gabrielli has a first look at your forecast.
Temperatures by and large today did stay pretty mild for this time of the year. We should be in the middle 40s. We happen to be managing to make our way into the afternoon into the middle 50s. And guess what? We have more 50s on the map for us both Saturday and on Sunday. But the rainfall that we did see earlier today really wasn't too bad. It did amount to about 1/4 to 1/2 inch in most spots. And get ready for it tonight. Clouds will be sticking around. It's going to be a bit of a mild setup. We're going to be arriving and hitting 60 tomorrow around noon. Notice though, rainfall will be developing in states to the south of us just in time for Saturday late into the afternoon. In a few minutes, I'm going to be timing out the rainfall chances that are going to be coming our direction beginning right around 10 or 11 p.m. tomorrow evening. You don't want to miss that full forecast in just a few more minutes.
Thank you, Sam. LG&E's plans to build a 12-mile natural gas pipeline in Bullitt County are moving forward. The Kentucky Supreme Court denied a request to review an appeals court ruling between Bernheim Forest and the company. After the ruling, Bernheim will now have to give up nearly 5 acres of land for the pipeline, which LG&E says will connect to other lines in the county's east side and another next to I-65. LG&E says the pipeline will enhance reliability for about 9,500 natural gas customers and serve the growing population within the region. LG&E officials said it's important to note that the land that they want to build the pipeline on is not accessible to the public, but Bernheim Forest says it's all about conservation of that area.
Endangered bat species, snails that are so rare nobody even knows how rare they are, and there's all kinds of beautiful wildlife that'll be impacted.
In a statement, an LG&E spokesperson says, quote, more than 600 customers have been awaiting natural gas services during the 7-year delay of this project. Now that we have all the permits to begin construction, as well as all easements or other rights of access necessary, we are preparing to move forward. New tonight, a survivor of the terrifying plane crash in Kazakhstan is now speaking out. It comes as investigators are still trying to pin down what happened to the craft and if Russia was responsible. ABC's Zoreen Shaw has the latest.
Tonight, survivors of that horrific Azerbaijan plane crash now speaking out for the first time as questions still linger about how that plane came crashing down into Kazakhstan. This passenger says he heard a loud sound as the plane descended toward Grozny. He says, I already realized that it was all over. I decided I should film my last minutes now. And the investigation into how it happened still lingering, including if Russia's anti-aircraft systems could have accidentally shot the plane from the sky. This crew member from a hospital bed in Baku says he heard 3 thuds as they were over Grozny. The next thing he knew, he was injured. He says, in the left arm, I don't know what touched me. I just looked and saw blood. White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby says there are early indications the plane could have been brought down by Russian air defense systems. Other experts say they believe it was the cause. A ballistics expert for the Malaysian Airlines flight MH17 investigation that determined that it was Russian forces in Ukraine that shot it down 10 years ago says he's certain that Flight 8242 was fired upon.
And so this is the typical pattern that you would see from a warhead exploding in vicinity of the fuselage.
Russia denies involvement, urging the public not to speculate until the investigation is complete. Meanwhile, Fly Dubai, Israel's main air carrier, and other airlines suspending their flights to Russia as an investigation continues. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The man President-elect Donald Trump has tapped to be his border czar is sharing his plan to deport undocumented families. Trump selected Tom Homan for the position. The former ICE director oversaw family separations during the first Trump term. Now in a second term, Homan has said the administration does not plan on separating families, but instead is doing something different.
They can be put in a halfway house, or they can stay at home and wait for the officers to get the travel arrangements and come back and get the family. You know, the best thing to do is for families to self-deport themselves.
Well, this comes as a new battle is brewing over work visas. Trump advisors Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are facing off against another Trump ally, Laura Loomer, over support for H-1B visas for foreign workers. The visas are for skilled workers. The tech industry has said that they're critical for hard-to-fill positions, but critics have said they undercut U.S. citizens who couldn't take those jobs. Trump has yet to weigh in on the argument he has restricted the visas in the past. Here at home, one program will also need to wait for the Trump administration to learn its future. The Whitney Young Job Corps is temporarily pausing due to funding issues. The Department of Labor, which runs the program, said it's pausing to shift resources to other Job Corps programs around the country and ensure the entire program could continue. Dr. Eddie Woods, the founder of No More Red Dots in the Portland neighborhood, says he's referred dozens of kids there in the last 20 years, and many of them came back as changed people. Now he's worried about the possibility of it closing.
I was trying to figure out when I was reading that, you know, what the plan was. I mean, it's got to be something. You know, I mean, you can't just take something that's significant and not do it anymore.
The Department of Labor also said it will be up to the incoming administration and the next Congress to continue this roadmap, meaning the roadmap they followed to keep the program alive.